from your recent comments, I get the impression that many of you maintain the view that this practice of not being concerned with the results is a very high level of practice. But in fact, this is not a high level of practice. This is quite a low level of practice. We're all aware that we should be free of clinging, but just hearing those words doesn't suddenly get rid of all our attachment. In fact, what gets rid of our attachment is years of dedicated practice. Judson Milarepa taught that your practice should be free of hope and fear. And being free of hope means being free of expectations for results in your practice. Being free of fear is being free of fear of failure in your practice. But somebody who understands meditation does not see this to be a mere mental prohibition. They see this to be the results of practice, this state of being free of hope and fear. And in fact, this is a very high level of Dharma. The Buddha taught, first know suffering. So you have to first identify that things aren't satisfactory. And once you've identified that things are not satisfactory, then you look for a remedy to that. And the remedy is enlightenment. So we identify that there is such a thing called enlightenment, and then knowing that there is a goal to be achieved, we work towards that. And that's very important. And also we have to progress on the path. From the very beginning, it's not like we're already enlightened. We don't have any spiritual qualities. We need to develop these, and we develop these through our practice. In general, somebody who has no goal is considered to be aimless, and we don't think being aimless is anything particularly good. In spiritual practice, at first there has to be intention. As the Buddha taught, everything begins with intention. And as a spiritual practitioner, we also have to have this goal or intention for liberation, or at least to make ourselves better. If it were the case that we didn't need any goals, then why on earth would we go to university? Or why would we exercise or take medicine or seek medical treatment? It's because we realize that these things will be beneficial, and it's the same with spiritual practice. Now, although this is not a high level of practice, there are reasons why this is taught. To start off with, even if you're engaging in calm abiding meditation, if you're sitting on your cushion and you're preoccupied with thoughts like, when will enlightenment come? What experiences will I have today? Then you're not going to be able to do your Shine meditation. In Shine, you have to focus the mind one-pointedly without distraction. And so if you're thinking about all sorts of things, it's not going to be beneficial. Another reason why a teacher might give this practice to their student is if that student is very goal-oriented or competitive. And so they'll tell them, don't worry about the end results. Don't worry about the goals. Because this competitiveness will be an obstacle to their stabilization of mind. Also, this instruction may be given to somebody who is very proud. You often hear Westerners say, well, I've been meditating for 2 hours a day for a whole year. I must be on the path of accumulation by now. And this is quite laughable. I mean, I told you recently that the Dalai Lama himself claims to only be on the final stage of the path of accumulation. But when it comes to a high level of meditation, for example, Mahamudra or Dzogchen, then actually it doesn't matter if you have expectations or if you don't have expectations. What matters in profound meditation is not what kind of thoughts you have. What matters is whether or not there is recognition. We say recognition, that is recognition of the true nature of mind or the true nature of phenomena, understanding the ultimate reality. And this is synonymous with ultimate bodhicitta. But in order to get there, then we have to engage in various practices. And we have to do this with some idea of what we're aiming for. It's not that self-improvement is inherently wrong. There's another point here. I hear many people say that they've given up on their meditation practice, that they no longer practice, and this is not a good sign. The masters of the past, once achieving realization, continued to practice with great fervor, and that's because habituation is far more difficult than realization. We tend to think that realization of the view is the most important thing, and then once you've realized the view, you're already Buddha. It is taught that the realization of a first-level bodhisattva who has achieved liberation from samsara is equivalent to the realization of a Buddha. But this does not mean that their intelligence and wisdom is the same. And so when I hear that people have given up on their meditation practice, then to me it's a sure sign that there's something wrong in the foundation of their meditation. And usually this is because they haven't developed or cultivated the preliminaries. And because they haven't cultivated the way of thinking that exists in the preliminaries, then they don't see the point of practice. Also, if your meditation is erroneous, then what will happen is, by not gaining results after years and years of practice, one no longer sees the point in practice, and so one is unlikely to dedicate themselves to meditation any longer. Now, it's very difficult to see what benefit can be gained from posting videos on YouTube. But to me, there are two things that would make this venture worthwhile. One is if there's somebody out there who's become stale in their practice and has given up on meditation. If by our mutual engagement they revive their enthusiasm for practice, then that would make me very happy. And then the second thing is, if somebody is holding an erroneous view, I'm already Buddha, everything's non-dual, so I don't need to practice. Or for example, if they have mistaken ideas about thoughts, mind, and appearances, and then on the condition of watching one of my videos, they were to doubt their preconceptions. And then further, to make a commitment to investigate again the basis of their assumptions. If that were to happen, then for me, that would be a lifetime's accomplishment. So anyway, I've got to catch the ferry soon, and I better go. But I'll try to post another video tomorrow. And thank you very much, and especially thank you for your contributions. Because for me, this discussion has no life unless you get involved.